Hello, everybody. My name is Paul Putnam. Welcome to our recruiting tip of the day. I am one of the directors of regional recruiting, and our sole purpose is to help you guys navigate this college recruiting process. So as directors, we work with the high schools, clubs, and really your high school coaches and your athletic directors to help bring education and the college recruiting process to your community. So if you want to reach out to any of our directors, please go to my website, which is paulputnam.com, and any of our directors, we can get you in touch and contact with anybody there. Today's tip is really going to be about the NCAA Eligibility Center, which really should be at the forefront of your recruiting, because it started in around 1986 with Proposition 48, which was a stipulation that student athletes would need to require or would have to meet certain academic requirements in order to play sports at the collegiate level. There's been certain changes that have taken place with the Eligibility Center since 1986, which is now we refer to it as the NCAA Eligibility Center, which is going to it's going to monitor your academic information through high school, or even if you're a student or a homeschool student, it's going to monitor and track your academic information as well as your amateurism status to determine if you're qualified to play NCAA sports. So any athlete who is wanting to play at the Division I or the Division II level must register as well as certify or qualify their academics, their test scores, and their amateurism status in order to play sports at the collegiate level, at the Division I or Division II level. So the first thing and advice I'm going to give you is for everybody to download a copy. At every year in August, the NCAA puts out a publication called the Guide for the College-Bound Student Athlete. You'll see this one is for the 2021 season, which came out in August. It's 36 pages of everything you need to know about recruiting. Any college prospect, anybody who has a desire or dream to play college sports, you must get a copy of this and read through it, because it will have everything and answer so many questions that everybody has. So some of the things that are in there that actually got me into a situation is how I got started in recruiting over a dozen years ago, is because my son was a great athlete and receiving offers from Division I. However, he was a 3.3 when he graduated high school, but he was an academic non-qualifier. Now, what this means is that the NCAA requires that you meet 16 core credits in high school. So starting your freshman through your senior year, 16 core credits of math, science, history, social sciences, as well as English and math. And it has to be an Algebra 1 or higher for Division I. The Division I also has what we call a 10-7 rule. That means that 10 of your 16 core credits must be met before the start of the seventh semester, which is opening day of classes your senior year of high school. So you need to meet those requirements. Then they have a sliding scale that you will hear a lot about. The sliding scale is whatever your core GPA is will determine what a minimum test score must be met on your ACT or your SAT. Now at the NCAA with the ACT, they're not calculating as necessarily the composite score. They're looking at a combined sum score of each of your subjects on that test. So for example, a 3.5 core GPA will be required to meet a 39 sum score of an ACT, or a 400 on your SAT. Whereas if you're, and then what will happen is the higher your core GPA, the less is what you need to score on your SATs and SATs. But the lower your core GPA goes, then you're going to have to score higher on your SATs or your ACTs. In my son's situation, he in ninth grade, he had a couple of bad grades, and his sophomore year as well, but he was straight A's his junior and senior year. Well, what happened is that the NCAA, they take away the electives, which is still a requirement to graduate high school, and you're going to need that to play in college. But the NCAA just tracks core. So when they took the elective courses out and looked at just his core, he was actually below a 2.5, which means he had to score higher on his test score. And it was the test score that he missed the minimum score he needed to reach. So he ended up at a junior college. So just because you don't get eligible to play through the NCAA, if your tests aren't there, if you don't meet that 2.3 core GPA, which is also a requirement, then it doesn't mean that your athletics in college is done. It just means we need to take another route, like maybe go to a junior college like my son did, and then graduate with an associate's degree above a 2.5, and then you could be eligible to continue to a 4-year, maybe finish out 2 or 3 years, depending on how many years of eligibility you used at the junior college level. So again, make sure that you download a copy of the NCAA guide for the college-bound student athlete. Read that. It'll have answer all your questions. Register with the Eligibility Center by going to the eligibilitycenter.org. I would start this probably your freshman year. Now you can go and you can just get a profile, and that doesn't cost anything. And all you really have to do is just say maybe you're looking at Division III or you're undecided, and start a profile. At least get information in there, get familiar, make sure you get registered. And then as you start moving into understanding if you're Division I or Division II, then go ahead and certify that. And there will be a fee by the NCAA that you'll have to pay to register that. And then if you're on any kind of if you get free or reduced waivers on your test scores, ACTs or SATs, you would qualify to get waivers for registering with the Eligibility Center as well. So I hope this was helpful to you, everybody. Good luck. That should be at the forefront. Make sure you don't miss this piece, because you can't play a down of football or any sport at the collegiate level, Division I or Division II, unless you get certified, registered, certified, and cleared, qualified through the Eligibility Center on academics and your amateurism status as well. Thank you all.